Hello, welcome to the Intellectual Minds Hub. In this captivating video, I will tell you about the World War One. World War One, also known as the Great War, was a global conflict that spanned from 1914 to 1918, involving major powers and their allies. In the late 19th and the early 20th centuries, a combination of nationalism, imperialism, militarism, and a complex alliance system set the stage for the outbreak of the war. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary served as a spark that ignited the conflict, leading to a chain of events that drew nations into the war. World War One was triggered by a complex web of long-term and immediate causes. The war involved many countries and had far-reaching consequences. Militarism refers to the belief in maintaining a strong military and using it as a tool to achieve national interests and objectives. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, many European nations engaged in an arms race, building up their militaries and navies to demonstrate power and dominance. That table is showing the increase in defense expenditures in these countries by time. European countries formed alliances to strengthen their security and deter potential aggressors. Two main alliance systems emerged: the Triple Entente, which includes France, Russia, and UK, and the Triple Alliance, that includes Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. The alliance system created a delicate balance of power, but also increased the risk of entangling alliances in case of conflict. Imperialist ambitions led European powers to compete for colonies and influence in various parts of the world. The scramble for territories and resources created tensions and rivalries among the major powers. Nationalism, a strong sense of national identity and pride, was on the rise across Europe. It fueled aspirations for independence and unification in some regions, but also created tensions between ethnic groups within multinational empires such as Austro-Hungarian and Ottoman empires. The immediate trigger of World War One was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary and his wife on June 28, 1914 in Sarajevo, Bosnia. The assassin was a member of the nationalist group seeking the independence of South Slavic peoples from Austria-Hungary. There are some other reasons that actually led to the war and conflicts between the powers. The Moroccan crisis of 1905 was a diplomatic dispute between France and Germany over influence in Morocco, a country in North Africa. Germany sought to challenge French dominance in Morocco by sending the German gunboat Panther to the Moroccan port of Agadir. The crisis raised concerns about the potential for war between France and Germany, but it was ultimately resolved through diplomatic negotiations. The Bosnian crisis arose from Austria-Hungary annexation of Bosnia and Herzegovina territories that had been under the administration of Ottoman Empire, but were occupied by Austria-Hungary since 1878. In 1908, Austria-Hungary officially annexed the territories, sparking outrage in Serbia and Russia, which saw it as a violation of the Treaty of Berlin. The Agadir crisis was another episode involving tensions between France and Germany over influence in Morocco. In 1911, Germany sent the gunboat Panther to the port of Agadir in response to perceived French expansionism in Morocco. The First Balkan War was fought by the Balkan League against the Ottoman Empire. The League achieved significant territorial gains in the Balkans. The Second Balkan War erupted when the Balkan League members turned against each other due to disputes over the spoils of the First Balkan War. Bulgaria, feeling betrayed, fought against its former allies. On July 23, 1914, Austria-Hungary issued an ultimatum to Serbia, presenting a list of demands to be fulfilled within 48 hours. The demands were intentionally made to be harsh and non-negotiable. Serbia accepted most of Austria-Hungary's demands and expressed reservations about certain points. However, Austria-Hungary was unsatisfied with Serbia's response. With the support of Germany, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia on July 28, 1914. This marked the formal beginning of the conflict. The declaration of war on Serbia set off a chain reaction of events due to the system of alliance in Europe. Russia, allied with Serbia, began mobilizing its forces, and Germany issued an ultimatum to Russia to halt its mobilization. Russia did not fully comply with Germany's ultimatum, leading Germany to declare war on Russia. France, that was Russia's ally, declared war on Germany. Germany invades Belgium to attack France, and Great Britain, that was France's allies, declares war on Germany. Trench warfare was a military strategy that emerged early in World War I and became the prominent mode of fighting on the Western Front. It involved the construction of intricate systems of trenches or ditches along the front lines, in which opposing forces entrenched themselves for protection from enemy fire. The Western Front was a major place of operations during World War I, stretching from the North Sea to the Swiss border. The Eastern Front in World War I was a vast and dynamic theater of operations marked by large-scale offensives and tidal shift. The war at sea during World War I was a crucial aspect of the conflict, with naval engagements and submarine warfare playing significant roles in the overall war strategy. Naval battles during World War I were primarily fought between the two main naval powers, the British Royal Navy and the Imperial German Navy. The North Sea was a crucial theatre of operations as control of this region was essential for maintaining trade routes, blockading enemy ports, and protecting supply lines. During World War I, significant advancement in military technology and weapons profoundly impacted the nature of warfare, like tanks and mechanized warfare, airplanes and aerial combat, artillery and heavy guns, poison gas and chemical warfare, and machine guns. The impact of World War I on civilians was immense and far-reaching, like economic hardships, psychological impact, propagation of nationalism, and war's toll on children and families, post-war trauma and adjustment. When World War I broke out in 1914, the US adopted a policy of neutrality and initially sought to stay out of the conflict. However, as the war progressed and various events unfolded, the US found it increasingly difficult to remain neutral. One of the major factors that pushed the US toward entering the war was Germany's use of unrestricted submarine warfare. In 1915, the British ocean liner RMS Lusitania was sunk by a German U-boat, resulting in the deaths of over 1,000 passengers, including 128 Americans. This incident created public outrage in the US and raised concerns about the safety of American lives and ships. In 1917, British intelligence intercepted a secret telegram from German Foreign Minister Arthur to the German ambassador in Mexico. The telegram proposed a military alliance with Mexico against the US, that if the US entered the war. The revelation of this telegram further swayed American public opinion in favor of entering the war. In January 1917, Germany resumed unrestricted submarine warfare, leading to a series of attacks on American and other neutral ships. On April 2, 1917, President Woodrow Wilson asked Congress to declare war on Germany, stating that it was necessary to make the world safe for democracy and to protect American interests. Congress declared war on April 6, 1917, officially bringing the US into World War I. Some of the treaties were signed to ensure peace in the region. Treaty of Versailles. This treaty was signed between the Allied powers and Germany. It imposed harsh terms on Germany, including territorial losses, disarmament war guilt clause, and the reparations payments. The Treaty of Versailles aimed to weaken Germany to prevent future aggression, but also sowed seeds of resentment and contributed to the rise of the extremist ideologies. Treaty of Saint Germain. This treaty was signed between the Allies and the Austria, the successor state to the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It led to the significant territorial losses for Austria and the recognition of new nation. Treaty of Trianon. This treaty was signed between the Allies and the Hungary, the successor state to the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It resulted in the loss of two-thirds of the Hungary's territory, affecting its population and economy. Treaty of Neuilly. This treaty was signed between the Allies and Bulgaria. It led to territorial losses for Bulgaria and imposed reparations payments and military restrictions. Treaty of Sevres. This treaty was signed between the Allies and the Ottoman Empire, but it was never fully ratified or implemented due to the Turkish War of Independence. The treaty envisioned the partition of Ottoman Empire and the establishment of mandates in the Middle East. Treaty of Lausanne. This treaty replaced the Treaty of Sevres and was signed between the Allies and the new Republic of Turkey after the Turkish War of Independence. It recognized the borders of modern Turkey and established peace between Turkey and Allied powers. These treaties redrew the map of the Europe and Middle East, dissolved empires and established new political realities. When considering both military and civilian casualties, it is estimated that the total human cost of World War I is around 15 to 20 million people. This includes those who died as a direct result of the war, as well as those who succumbed to injuries, diseases and hardships in the aftermath of the conflict. As we conclude this journey through the history of World War I, it becomes clear that this global conflict was a turning point in human history. The war's devastating impact on millions of lives, the rise of new technologies and weapons, and the reshaping of entire nations and borders remind us of the profound consequences of armed conflicts. World War I teaches us the importance of learning from history and working together to prevent future conflicts. It reminds us of the tremendous value of diplomacy, dialogue, and cooperation among nations to resolve disputes and foster lasting peace. As we remember the sacrifices made during World War I, let us also honor the resilience and bravery of those who endured the horrors of the battlefield and the civilians who faced unimaginable hardships. Their stories remind us of the need to cherish and protect the peace and freedom we enjoy today. That's all from my side. Don't forget to press the bell icon. Thanks.